Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we got a pretty good video for you guys. I think we have 2 first appearances, 5 honorable mentions, so 7 titles all to go through. Definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week, week ending July 19th, 2024. First up from Marvel Comics, Annihilation 2099 number 3. This features the first appearance of Red Hulk 2099. Now, I believe last week we highlighted Annihilation 2099 issue number 2 as well. Like we mentioned last time, this here is definitely going to be speculative, because this here is an alternate version of Red Hulk. This is the Red Hulk 2099, and this here is the first appearance in this issue. But, you know, these alternate versions of these characters, it really depends on what Marvel and Disney have planned for these alternate versions as to how important these particular iterations are going to be in the future. You know, if these characters in this particular form just exist in this title series, they go nowhere after this, they might not be all that important going forward. So these here are going to be a little bit more speculative than the typical first appearance in a Marvel title. You know, like we always say, we do recommend picking up the first appearance in Marvel titles, but this here one, this alternate version of Red Hulk, this Red Hulk 2099, like I said, it really depends what Marvel Disney have planned for this character. If they don't really have plans to continue this particular iteration of Red Hulk, then you know, this probably won't go anywhere. So this one here, definitely going to be speculative. It still is the first appearance in a Marvel title, so it may be worth picking up the spec on. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally from Image Comics, Red Coat number 4. This features the first appearance of the Grand Architect. Now, this Red Coat title series from Image Comics, this has already developed a huge fan base and huge collector base. And you know, like we always mention with these small press and indie publishers, if these title series get picked up an option for small screen and big screen projects, that is a huge price driver for these books in the secondary market. So this one here, the fact that this title series already has a huge fan base and collector base, and the fact that this here does have a first appearance of a new character, in our opinion, this one here is definitely worth picking up. Now, this will still be speculative because you are speculating on this title getting picked up an option, this title being important in the future, and people still caring about these characters. But you know, in our opinion, definitely worth the risk on this one. Like I said, it already has a huge fan base. So grab this one here for your collection if you can. If you can't though, put it in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From DC Comics, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter number 1. This is a 6-issue Elseworlds series spun off from the Dark Knights of Steel that features Deathstroke as a reluctant hero. Now, historically, when DC tries to make alternate versions of their existing characters, or tries to rebrand an existing character, these don't really do that much in the future. People don't really seem to collect these alternate versions. You know, but that being said, some of these smaller limited issue series that DC has been putting out have been highly collected over the past decade. So this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up. It may be worth specking on for the cover price, $3 or $4, you know. You could be sitting on a huge winner here if this goes big. If it goes nowhere, you're out a couple dollars. So in our opinion, the risk is worth the reward on these specs. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Udon Comics, Final Fight number 1. Now this here is the premiere issue of this Final Fight title series. This is of course based on the video game Final Fight. Now, we always put these video game series on our list. Video game comics are typically underprinted, undersold, and undercollected when they come out. So in the future, as the years go on, there's not a lot of them out there, and anybody who wants them are definitely going to have to pay up. Look at any of the video game comics over the past decade. They've all performed well in the secondary market, definitely over the cover price. So in our opinion, this one here is definitely worth picking up. Grab this one here for your collection. Next up from Darkhorse Comics, Paranoid Gardens number 1. A nurse steps up to the challenge of battling corrupt staff, powerful theme park cults, and her own personal demons at a hospital that caters to aliens, ghosts, superheroes, and other creatures. Now, this here was written by Gerard Way. Now, Gerard Way, if you don't know, is of course one of the co-founders and the lead vocalist of the band My Chemical Romance, and he also was the co-founder and the writer for Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy was of course picked up by Netflix, and that debuted back in 2019. Now, we put this one on the list because anytime one of these celebrity writers or someone with a foothold into Hollywood writes one of these comic books, these are definitely primed to be option for small screen and big screen projects. And like I mentioned a moment ago, Umbrella Academy was already picked up an option made into a Netflix series. So this one here, in our opinion, is definitely primed to be option for a small screen and big screen project. Like I said, it does have a celebrity writer attached to it. So this one here is a great spec for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from Dynamite, the Powerpuff Girls number 1. This here is the premiere issue of the new Powerpuff Girls title series. Now, Powerpuff Girls, huge franchise, still has a huge fan base and huge collector base, and this here is a premiere issue. A lot of these 80s, 90s cartoon nostalgia books that have been coming out have been doing incredibly well, and Dynamite Comics has published a lot of them. So this one here, in our opinion, is definitely worth picking up for the spec. I mean, for $3 or $4, you'll be sitting on a huge winner here. So this one here, pick this up for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. And finally from Top Cow Image, Witchblade #1. Now this here is the premiere issue of the new rebooted Witchblade title series. Now Witchblade does have an established fan base and collector base, and this here is the premiere issue of this new rebooted series, so this one here may be worth picking up. This is definitely going to be a little more speculative. Now the Witchblade fan base is not huge, but it is very well established, and fans of Witchblade do love the series. So this one here, like I said, is going to be a little bit more speculative, but it may be worth picking up for the cover price. Grab this one here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. So there you have the 7 titles that we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.